Yo, what's poppin', Bagel Bros, and welcome back to another Patreon rant. If you want one of these for yourself, be sure to give me $15 on Patreon. This one comes from Neon Manta, who says, "Oh boy, I sure hope this ages well. Rant about my video that's definitely up on my new main channel by the end of the month when you do rants, if not rant about cats versus dogs or something." Now, he did not actually post that video, as a matter of fact, and so it did in fact age poorly. However, it's even worse than that because I actually recorded this rant literally like a week ago. Back when, okay, so basically the entire gimmick of the rant was that I was sure Neon Manta wasn't going to get the video out. I already knew it. I know Neon well enough that I know this video isn't coming out, and so I ranted about cats versus dogs. But then, a few days after I recorded the rant, he then sent me another rant on Discord, because he knew he wasn't gonna get the video out, and so he was like, okay, actually rant about this. Now, I had already recorded this rant, and so I should have just told him, no, I already recorded the rant you requested to begin with. But in my foolish hubris, I thought, hey, I'm recording the final bits of commentary for the next video soon, so I can just record it then. And then I forgot, and I genuinely wasn't sure if I was going to get another chance for the house to be empty, so that I could record this rant with my good microphone. I thought I was going to have to perhaps go to the garage and talk into my Yeti for a bit, but luckily, crisis averted. So his actual rant is, so I have my current rant saved for next month in June, and this month just ran about art forms that you can't get into for one reason or another. For example, my girlfriend loves musical theater, and I've always had a passing interest in musicals, but the main thing holding me back is the lack of accessibility. Since the best musicals are on Broadway and official pro shots are rare, the only way to watch some musicals are on shitty phone recordings, which I can't stand. So, this one should be relatively short, which is why I went through the trouble of saying that entire intro, because I only have one piece of, or I guess form of media that I can't really get into, that I am passionate enough to talk about, which is music. I know. It's a bit of an oddball one, and I know it sounds weird on the face of it, because there are songs and artists that I like, but I feel like I've just from the very beginning have just a huge disconnect from music compared to the average person. So like most people, they like certain artists, they like certain albums, and just the act of sitting through an entire album and doing nothing but listening to that album is sort of inherently boring to me. The only context in which I've really done that is for rants on this channel back when I would allow people to tell me to rant about albums and whatnot. And the reason why I stopped doing that was because, mostly because of the persistent album rants that I would always have to force myself to do, but also a bunch of other stuff that just takes so much time, like it's not worth the money I was getting for it. But on top of that, okay, so I would come away from those rants thinking like a lot of the albums were at the very least decent. Some of them weren't very good, but even when something was decent or good, just the act of sitting there and listening to it, it felt like something I had to really force myself to do in comparison to, later on there were the Bo Burnham rants and the, watching Disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya. Those ones I did not have to force myself to do nearly to the same extent. Actually sitting down and watching those was easy, but bringing myself to listen to an entire album for some reason just felt really difficult by comparison, even if I ended up liking them. It felt like I had to like them through my inherent boredom at that kind of experience. And I think where this disconnect stems from is that I feel like the way in which I appreciate music most is in the background while I'm doing something else. And this is why I tend to like a lot of video game OSTs. So yeah, I'm that kind of guy. For example, I've really been getting into Pokemon battle music lately. And I've literally spent my time while washing dishes just having Pokemon and Super Paper Mario battle themes on in the background. And those songs are really fun in that context. And a lot of songs even songs with vocals can be fun in that context. But the thing with the rants specifically is that, I needed to pay enough attention to where I could recall the lyrics and have something interesting to say about their themes, which is sort of antithetical to how I listen to music in my ideal form. And where this came to a head, Neon, you know about this one, the audiophile Jaguar rant, the Def Leppard rant. Yeah, that was one where I barely fucking paid attention to the album, and lo and behold, I had almost nothing to say about it, because, I was paying more attention to the Geometry Dash level I was building while listening to it. And so it's kind of a strange situation I have with music. Even if I like an individual song from an artist, I often don't like anything else they've ever put out. And even if there is an entire album I like, it's difficult for me to get into the headspace of wanting to find the rest of their music. So for example, I really like the album People Who Can Eat People Are the Luckiest People in the World by AJJ. And that is an album that I didn't have to listen to for a rant. I just found it on my own and enjoyed it. And I listened to it, sure enough, while making a Geometry Dash level, go figure. And so, you'd think, oh, okay, I should go listen to the rest of AJJ's stuff. And the answer is I haven't done that stuff. I've just stuck with that one album, and I haven't listened to it in many months. It's just so strange, because even if I do like some songs, I just can't bring myself to get invested in the entirety of music. It's a hard disconnect to describe or to pin down exactly what causes it. And there's probably more I could do to flesh out this topic, but really at this point, I think you get the gist of what I mean. So yeah, that's about it. See ya.